Well, well, well. It's that time of the year again where we gather with friends and family and give thanks for everything that we appreciate. And it's also time for us to give thanks during our week-long Black Friday sale. And this year we are offering our Black Friday bundle, which includes the everything bundle, along with a 7.5-inch Santoku chef's knife. Quantities are very limited on this, so get it while you can. It's not just a pretty piece of metal and wood. It's actually pretty damn sharp too. If you don't feel like using it and you just want to display it, it even comes with this nice carrying case. And not only that, we are also offering 20% off single bottles for those of you that just want to restock and don't feel like getting a new knife. So go ahead and stock up while you can because this is the best deal of the year. And if you're seeing this video, the sale has already started and it goes from now until November 30th at midnight. Don't forget to go to CarnivoreCompanion.com. Link is down below in the description, and let's get on with the video. It's not very often that I come across things that I'm particularly interested in making, especially whenever it's something that I didn't come up with. But I've known about this recipe for quite a while. It is Maria Emmerich's chocolate pudding or chocolate mousse, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not doing the exact same chocolate recipe. I want to feel like it's Thanksgiving, and I want a dessert that feels like Thanksgiving. And one of the best ways to represent Thanksgiving dessert, I think, is pecan pie. While this won't be an exact representation of pecan pie, I think it's going to be pretty damn close. I think it'll be pretty good just from using her recipe as a base, as well as adding my own tweaks to it to make it something nice and rich without all the sugar and using majority animal products to make it happen. So with that said, let's get started by making the crust, and it's going to start with some pecans. I'm going to use 12 total ounces of pecans. But these are halves, so I need to get them broken down a bit. Get them into a food processor, preferably. You could try to put these in a blender to chop them up if you would like, but from what I know about blenders, it might just turn it to pecan butter, and that's not what I'm looking for. And to add some sweetness, I'll be using some brown sugar allulose for everything in this recipe. But feel free to use any type of alternative sweetener that you like, or if you don't like any, don't use any. I think that you could probably still get a good result with making this a savory type dessert, not necessarily, so sweet, but I will be using this. And I'm going to add a 1/4 cup straight into the blender, along with about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And just start pulsing. You do not want to blend this because, like I said, it will turn into pecan butter. And I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for chopped pecans with little pieces. So just... And once you're left with a consistency that's about like this, we can go ahead and put that to the side. Keep this out. You don't have to wash this yet because we will also need to make the pudding portion of this. And to start with that, we need to add in 10 hard-boiled eggs. And if you don't know how to hard-boil an egg, I'm going to leave a link right here for my 4 egg hacks, which shows you how to cook eggs perfectly. Because I did see some comments on Maria's website talking about how it tasted sulfury and eggy. And I can tell you right now, the mistake that person made was they overcooked their eggs. After 10 eggs, I'm going to go ahead and add in a 1/2 cup of my brown sugar allulose. And in place of the full-fat coconut milk, I'll be using heavy whipping cream, which I will need 3/4 of a cup. Some Spice It ground cinnamon. I'm going to go ahead and do 1.5 teaspoons of that. A little pinch of salt, about 1/8 teaspoon. I'm going to finish that off with about 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We'll start pulsing it, and then we'll just get it smooth. And after about a minute, it's starting to look pretty moussey and puddingy. All right, I'm surprised. I just wasn't expecting it to be that good. The texture is actually quite nice, and I surprisingly don't taste egg. I'm going to put this in the fridge, and we can move on with finish up the crust. So I'm going to take 3 ounces of unsalted butter. That sounds like a lot of butter, but it's also a lot of crust I'm about to make. And to that, we can go ahead and add all of our pecan, sugar, salt mixture. We're just going to get this nice and toasted. Just move it around, keep it moving until all the butter's melted. It's really all we're waiting for. All right. Turn my heat off. It's starting to get a little too toasty for all this, but the butter's not quite melted. Let it keep moving in the still warm pan. It should be looking kind of crumbly. Pick it up. Should kind of fall apart. And once it does look like that, we can go ahead and start assembling, which I'm going to be using a cake pan made out of foil. If you want to use a different casserole dish or just any type of dish, that's fine with me. This one is a 12x8. So if you want to do a similar size, that's what this is. To start, I'm going to get roughly half of my pecan mixture into the pan. I want to spread that out pretty evenly. So once I get my bottom layer nice and even, we're going to throw this into the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes. And that is ready. And we can go ahead and get the pudding on top of this. Just get it all out. Doesn't have to be perfect when you get it out. Get it on there. And start smoothing it out to make an even layer. And once it is smoothed out, we can start sprinkling over the rest of our pecan crust on top of it. And there we go. This is what it's looking like. And I do want to get this back in the fridge. I'm going to let it sit in there covered for about an hour just because I want all these things to kind of come together. I want them to stiffen up even more. So I want to be able to scoop out a piece and make it look nice on my plate. So we'll be back in about 1 hour. And it's time to scoop out a piece. And I'm excited because I've tasted both of the components, but I haven't tasted them together. So let's just get a little bit out, see what we're working with. Oh yeah, that came out real good. And this is what it should be looking like. It's creamy, should be a little bit crunchy from the nuts. You know, let's go ahead and just give it a taste and see how we did. It's got a good cinnamon flavor. It's not overly sweet. The butter and the pecan crust works really nicely with everything else. And the pudding or mousse or whatever you want to call it is nice and fluffy. And it just, the textural differences are really good. The flavor is really good. And I really do not think that anyone would bat an eye unless you just told them it's eggs. I think they would eat this and be like, this is a pretty good dessert. And it's actually really light considering how much like heavy cream is in it. But you know, this is kind of to bind all the eggs together. And it works. It works really well. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Try it out. Let me know what you think. And check out Maria's channel down below. Thank you for the inspiration. And I will see you in the next one. Really hope you enjoyed the video. Before you leave, I just want to let you know one more time about the Black Friday sale at CarnivoreCompanion.com. This is my company, so you're directly supporting the channel when you buy from us, and we are a very small company. So any support is appreciated. See y'all next time.